Hello, third grade, and welcome to problem solving for today. We will be working inside our books again, so please make sure that you are in volume 2. Volume 2, it says that down below, and you are on page 585. It should say lesson 3, 11-3. Solve two-step word problems, all operations. Now we've been working on solving word problems and looking a little bit at money and different tables. So as we're reading through this, let's apply cubes and decide which operations we will have to use. Remember, operations are multiply, divide, add, and subtract. Those are operations. Let's go ahead and begin. An aquarium had 75 clownfish in a large water tank. The clownfish represented in the graph were added to this tank. Oop, I see a key word. How many clownfish are in the tank now? Solve this problem any way you choose. Write and explain how you found the answer. Alright, so I know that the total aquarium has 75 clownfish in the tank. And I can see down here where all of those are. Now in this type of table, this pictograph, it gives us a key. It is always important to look at the key first in a pictograph. I like to write the number at the end, so then I don't have to count each time I look at the pictures. So this says that for each triangle, that equals 5 animals. So that means that I need to count by 5s. So let's go ahead and count how many total clownfish there were. I should get 75. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Oh, so these are the ones that were added. I forgot to read my heading. So there were 45 added to the tank. How many sea stars? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And how many crabs? 5, 10, 15, 20, 15, 20, 25, 30. Alright, so now that I know how many of each one of these there are, I can go back to my problem. When you're solving word problems, you will have to read it over multiple times to make sure you answer each part. Let's read through it one more time. An aquarium had 75 clownfish in a large water tank. So I'm going to write that out down here. So we started with 75 clownfish. I wrote that down at the bottom. Go ahead and write that down on yours as well. The clownfish represented in the graph were added, that's my key word, to the tank. So that means these 45 clownfish were added to the tank. How many clownfish are in the tank now? So we got our first step and we found how many clownfish were added. And now we can do our second step and add them to our current amount of clownfish that we have. 5 plus 5 is 10. Drop the ones place, carry the tens. 1 plus 7 is 8. And 8 plus 4 is 12. 120 clownfish. Oops, forgot my N. Is how many are in the tank now. Circle your answer. Now let's look back and think about what operations, remember operations are add, subtract, divide, and multiply, did we use to solve this problem? Now, we used addition for both of these because we added or counted by fives. But what is another way I could write this? If I am adding 5 9 times, I could write that as 9 times 5. So I would be using multiplication. Go ahead and write that down at the bottom. And then I also used addition by adding 75 plus 45. Those were the two operations I used. Once you're finished writing this out, take a photo and upload it onto ClassKick, and then you can move on to the next activity.